Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Riven. In the previous video, we read Atris's journal and were provided some clearer instructions on what to do here at Riven. We are to use the prison book, the second book that was given to us by Atris, to try to capture Gen, and then we have to find and rescue Catherine, and then find a way to signal Atris to come here to Riven to link us out of here. However, a wrench has been thrown into our plans after the prison book was stolen from us by that guy who took it from us, and then someone else came in and knocked that guy out and took the prison book away. So, our instructions are clear. Step 1, find the prison book and get it back. Step 2, locate Gen and try to trick him into somehow using the prison book and getting himself trapped. Step 3, locate Catherine, try to rescue her. And step 4, find a way to signal Atris so that he'll come here and get us out of here. Now, you're probably wondering, why are we doing this? Why are we being sent here to capture Gen and rescue Catherine? Well, there are more details about this age and the relationship between Atris and Gen, as well as Atris and Catherine in the first myth novel, the Book of Atris, where Gen took Atris to the Dunny Caverns when Atris was just 14 years old to teach him about the art of writing and creating ages. However, during Atris' stay at Dunny, or more specifically on the island of Kavir, Atris discovered that Gen wasn't actually creating ages, he was just creating links to pre-existing ages, which is what the Dunny were doing anyway. And after getting into an argument with Gen, Atris tried to run away, but Gen was able to catch up with Atris, capture him, and lock him up in that very room that we saw at the beginning of this game, which is the same room that we saw at the end of the game Myst. And Atris created a cave-in while attempting to escape from that room, and the only other way out was a linking book to Riven, where he ended up going, and then he met Catherine, who it turns out Gen was planning to marry, but Atris and Catherine divided a plan to try to trap Gen on Riven by destroying all of the links leading out of Riven. And in doing so, the age started collapsing in on itself because Gen's writings were pretty much inconsistent and unstable. Or rather, inconsistent and unreliable, therefore making his ages unstable. And as a result, Riven started collapsing, it started splitting apart, and there's all these fissures appearing everywhere. And Atris, with the last link out of Riven, that being his Myth Linking Book, decided to jump into the Star Fissure and use the Myth Linking Book as he fell, allowing him to return safely to Myst, and allowing for the Myth Linking Book to continue falling into that starry expanse of which he had only a fleeting glimpse, therefore efficiently trapping Gen on Riven for the next 33 years. And during that 33 years, Atris and Catherine got married, and of course Ceres and Akinar came along, and they went ahead with their evil plan to get Atris and Catherine out of the way so that they could go to Atris' different ages and destroy the books as we saw in the game Myst. And they tricked Catherine into coming here to Riven by saying that Atris came here, and Catherine ended up going to Riven without a linking book. And there's a couple reasons as to why she did that. Number one, because she believed that Atris was here, she would assume that Atris had a linking book with him. And number two, if she were to bring a linking book here to Riven, and Gen was still about, she would have been easily captured, and Gen would have had a way out of Riven at long last. So yeah, a little bit of backstory for you there from the journal we read in the previous video and from the first myth novel, the Book of Atris. So, I think it's time we go ahead and finally start exploring around this age and see what there is to see. Now, we did come across a little fork in the road here earlier. We can go either this way, that way, or this way. Let's go this way first, where we stumble upon a room with a bunch of pillars, which appear to be made from tree trunks, and there are these 5 large beetles, and this is supposed to be some kind of worship room, if I'm not mistaken. You can see the symbol right here. This is the symbol of Gen right here, and we got the pen tip right here, and the symbol right here. I won't say what the symbol is just yet. We will find out later on. But yeah, this is supposed to be like the worship room in creating books, like how the tree trunks are the source of the paper and the beetles are the source of the ink. And if we look up, we see some stars, and I'm not really sure what this is. I think this might be another pen tip. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and step inside this room. And as a matter of fact, not only are these beetles there just for decoration, but if you click on them and click on the ring underneath them, you can actually open them up and take a look inside to this stained glass mural of some sort. And here we can see Gen writing in a book, and you can see all his creations coming alive from the tip of his pen. You can see a bunch of animals and plants and stars and a moon, and you can see a halo above Gen's head. Gen believes himself to be a god, and that he is actually creating his ages, when, like I said before, he is actually creating links to pre-existing ages. So yeah, Gen's understanding of how the art worked is way off. So that was the first beetle right there. The second beetle is right here. And in here, again, you can see Gen depicting himself as a god with a book over his head and a halo. And he's being worshipped by the people of Riven. And he's between the sun and moon. Between sun and moon. There is a lake between sun and moon. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I don't know. Every time I say or someone reference a Rush song, I just can't help but sing snippets of that song. My bad. I apologize. Anyway, here's the third beetle right here. And inside this one, we see Gen, again with a halo over his head. And he appeared to be casting Atris down into a chasm filled with stars, and that's supposed to be the Starfisher. And you can see the book right there. That's supposed to be the Myth Lincoln book. But actually, this depiction of the events happening here is incorrect. Like I said before, Atris deliberately jumped into the Starfisher while using the Myth Lincoln book to trap Gen on Riven. But Gen, not wanting to let the people of Riven know that he had been pretty much defeated by Atris and trapped on Riven, made it so that he deliberately cast Atris into the Starfisher and exiled him from Riven, so that he wouldn't blow his cover that he is not a god. Alright, now for beetle number 4. And in here we have Gen again, and 5 different people right here, and these right here are the 5 guild masters that work under Gen. Yeah, the Dunny have these guild masters that are the masters of certain groups, and these pictures right here represent the group that the guild masters work for. And from left to right, we have the Guild of Builders, the Guild of Educators, the Guild of Maintainers, the Guild of Surveyors, and the Guild of Bookmakers. And the 5th and final beetle is right over here. And this mural depicts the bookmaking process. You can see there are trees that are being put inside this wood chipper, and there's like a pressure cooker to heat up the wood and separate the wood fabrics, and got people worshiping the book. I guess these are the guild masters, and there appeared to be a cauldron full of flame, like heating up the book for some reason. I'm not exactly sure what for. Actually, I do know what it's for now that I think about it, but I'm not going to say yet. I'll let you know later on in due time. And there's also a hand right here. I'm assuming that's Gen's hand. Actually, it is Gen's hand because we see his symbol right there with the 5 quill tips, and you can just barely see that symbol, the same one that we saw on the floor, right in the center. And we've looped around, and there's also the Dunny writings on the wall. I have no idea what this says. I'm not really a Dunny expert. There's some more dunny writings on the wall. And there's a door right here, which appears to be locked. So, can't do anything about that. So let's step back out here and turn around, because there is a button on the wall right here. And if we press this button, it starts up some kind of mechanism, and it rotates this room. Interesting. I wonder what that will accomplish. And the room stops rotating, and the doorway is now blocked off. But there is a little peephole right here that we can look through. And if we look through, we can see that there's a door over here. But that's not the same door that we saw before. That was over here. So I wonder where this door could lead to. Well, let's go ahead and press this button again and rotate the room once more. And I don't know why, but there's a weird bug right here where the sound of the room rotating, like, overlapping itself. Yeah, that's really odd. I don't know why that happens. Anyway, and if we peek through here again, we can see this other door that leads outside to that bridge. And there was no bridge over behind the door that was on the other side. So press the button one more time, rotate the room again, and if I recall correctly, it will bring about the other entryway that used to be in front of the locked door leading outside to the bridge, but now it's right here in front of us. And the doorway, or the entryway that was previously here in front of us, is now over here where the other door is. And if we look through, you can see it lead to another closed door. Can't really look out there now. But, yeah, that's pretty much all we can do here for now. However, there is more to this room than you're probably thinking right now. Because if we go down here and get a nice view of one of the islands on Riven, we come across another door, but this one, unfortunately, is also locked. And there's another dagger right there. Let's take a closer look at it. Hey, wait a minute. The camera's not zoomed in on the dagger. It's over here in the corner. But it's instead zoomed in at the bottom of the door. Maybe, perhaps I can... have a look at that. Apparently, you can actually crawl underneath the door without having to find a way to unlock it. Very clever. And would you look at that? We come across this rotating room again. But unfortunately, there's no button on the wall. Yeah, I'm trying to click left and right, but I can only turn back around. So instead, what we're going to have to do is go back up over this way. Press this button once so that we can rotate the room, and so that the entryway that's on the other side from here will now be over at the other entrance that we were just at a moment ago. Let's go ahead and step back down here and see if that is indeed the case, and lo and behold, we can go back inside this room from this side. And we see another entrance right over there that we haven't seen before. Where could this lead to? It leads to some kind of valve, and there is a plaque right here which had an image that closely resembled the telescope at the beginning. And if we look up, we can see steam venting out of this pipe. But if we switch the valve, the steam is now being redirected this way, and it's not shooting out of this pipe anymore. So if I were to guess, I would say that the steam is now going straight back over to that telescope, which means the telescope should now have power. Oh hey, what's this? A lever. And if we flip it up, we can hear the sound of a door opening. And it might be one of those two locked doors that we saw earlier. And there's another button on the wall right here, which, as you would guess, would rotate the room again. And even though I got the cursor out, I can't really look around or put the button again, and gotta wait till the room stops rotating. Let's press it one more time so we can have a way out. It sounds like the room rotates faster here than it does over here in the original entryway. And as you can see, this door that was previously closed is now open, but this door is still closed, and there's no way to open it here. But there is another lever right here, which appeared to open another door, and if I were to guess, I would say it's opening the door that leads outside to that bridge. And of course there's another button right here to rotate the room again. Yeah, I know this this whole video seems sort of repetitive with having to rotate the room over and over again, but hopefully this will be the only time in the Let's Play in which I will have to rotate this room. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's why I said hopefully. And we're back out here, and we're going to press this button a couple more times to set this worship room back to its original position. Yeah, here you can tell when I'm watching the room rotate after pushing this button, you can tell it's much longer than when I press the other buttons in the other entryways and I'm not watching the room rotate. It sounds like the rotation of the room takes up half the length that it does here from this angle. And the room is now reset back to its original position, and hey, would you look at that? This door is now open! And there is another button right here which will rotate the room, but there's no point in doing that, at least not now. And we appear to be inside the dome that we saw earlier in the game. Can I look up at the dome from here? No, I can't. But if I turn around, there's a lever right here. And if I turn it up, nothing happens. That was anticlimactic. And we look here, there appears to be another plaque. And hey, aren't those the same symbols that we saw in one of the beetles? More specifically, the symbol that was with the guild masters for the Guild of Surveyors? Look like it. Look a lot. I know, they look a lot like Tetris pieces. Especially this piece right here, and this piece. Those two are too big to be actual Tetris pieces, and I know for a fact that there's no Tetris piece that's only one square. So what do these 5 pieces represent? Who knows? Well, I do, but again, not going to say yet until it becomes more relevant. And it looks like there's some kind of a lake out here, but I can't really do much with it. And over here we see another steam pipe, and we walk up to it, and we see a plaque that represents a bridge. Looks pretty much like the bridge that we were on just moments ago. And we see it in a horizontal position and in a diagonal position. And I can't look up from here, but I can turn this valve. And if we follow the pipe, it leads up to... it leads to that bridge right there. So that bridge needs to be lowered somehow. And that bridge actually leads over to... Hold on, can I get a better angle? Not really. I'm trying to get a better angle. Okay, that's good enough. So you see the bridge leads over to what looks like another island. And we will be going there later. And it looked like there's some kind of platform right here, and I would assume there's a button right here, but it's missing. And if we look up, we can see that this platform I'm standing on is actually a segment of another bridge. But I can't really do anything about it right now. And there's another steam valve right here, with another plaque depicting a bridge that goes up and down. Let's go ahead and turn this valve. And upon doing that, the bridge that we were on just minutes ago is starting to go up. Because we just gave it power. That bridge just went up, and that's the same bridge that we were on that had the lever right next to it, which I flipped up. So I wonder if maybe if we were to head back up to that bridge and I flip that lever down, maybe the bridge will come back down. Let's find out. And that is indeed the case. And by the way, one of the cool things about this game that Myst did not have is the attention to detail with some of the animations. Like, you could actually see the bridge shaking when it finished its descent. That's actually a nice attention to detail right there. So that's pretty much all we can do here at the moment. I am going to go ahead and end off the video right here, and in the next video we shall cross this bridge and see what lies ahead. So take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.